Hello, everyone. Hope decides to play the fake visual novel and everyone loses their minds. Yeah, it's me. I'm back, and I'm hoping not too many people are triggered still. I don't know if people are triggered. But people are triggered. If you are triggered, I'm sorry. I didn't start Unlimited Blade Works. Anime. Oh no. But I'm enjoying myself. This is amazing. This game is awesome, and I love it. So, you know, why don't we go ahead and get started with some more Fate Stay Night Rialta Nua. Previously, Shirou had a lot of training and stuff, and more Sakura slice of life. We also learned that Shinji is the most detestable piece of human garbage in the existence of the Fate world so far, besides Zoken. And, yeah, and I guess Kirei, but Kirei's at least likable. Yeah, Shinji, you know, abuses Sakura physically. But at least Shirou is the kind of man that says, you know, fuck that. I want to go cap this bitch's ass. It makes me happy. Like, I love seeing jerks get their comeuppance. It's wonderful. And Shirou's already proven himself to be a wonderful protagonist as, well, he's quite an underdog, and I like that. He's quite relatable, and I like that. And he's just got a lot of qualities that are different but nuanced that I enjoy. So let's go ahead and continue with, you know, some Fate Stay Night. Woohoo! Alright, let's see. I have tons of saves to load. Okay, oh yeah. So, I don't know. I ended abruptly in episode 6. I'm gonna have to, you know, things happened. But, you know, we'll continue back there. Let's continue. Alright, what were we talking about? First I didn't, Captain Busy, no, I can always be in the dojo. Ah, that's right, Shinji took his anger out on someone by being an absolute fucker. And Shirou's like, why didn't you, you know, why didn't you help him out? And she's like, I have other things to do, I'm busy, like, I have other people to watch and all that. This was a great line from Shirou. This is a wonderful line from Shirou, I remember this. Ah, no, you can't use my words against me like this, Mitsuzuri. How dare you? Yeah. I agree with Shirou here. He's an asshole. Oh, so because Tosaka turned him down, even though he didn't really make an advance, well, he didn't, like, he was just being a fucking tool about it. He decides to take out his frustration on other people. Oh, man. You know, people usually think incels are like this, but why is the Chad doing the same thing? It's almost like, you know, Chads are kind of the worst kind of people. And I'm not speaking objectively, there are actually really nice Chads out there. Yeah, really, Mitsuzuri. I'm surprised. I thought that there was many Tosakas, you know? We've got Gin Tosaka, Shin Tosaka, Chin Tosaka, who else? Skin Tosaka. She's my favorite, particularly because, she has this odd skin condition where she flakes all over the place. She basically creates snow everywhere. I can create fucking snowmen out of dead skin. If you find that disgusting, well, it is. That's the point. Miss Perfecto. Damn. I like the inclusion of English in that. Neither have I, Shirou, to be fair. It's the first time I've heard the nickname, but I would probably agree with it. With Tosaka involved, I can understand even Shinji getting turned down, and most of all, if it was Tosaka, I could see her refusing it mercilessly. Well, it's time for me to set him straight. And I don't mean straight in the sense that he's gay. I mean I'm gonna twist his spine out from under him, because his back is crooked. Fucking asshole. Well, I'd say you're doing a mighty fine job for the most part. I just made the connection. The reason why Sakura got bruised so recently is because Shinji took his anger out on her because of the rejection from Tosaka. Damn it. Fuck you, Shinji.
はいはい。けどね、シンジって懲りないでしょ。また遠坂に声をかけて振られた日には、今度こそ遠坂本人に何かしそうでさ。
Yeah, I wonder how he's gonna react when Shiro decides to pipe Tosaka in Unlimited Blade Works. I don't think he's gonna be happy. I feel like he's gonna feel like he's being cucked even though he isn't even being cucked. He isn't even seen as a really guy to Tosaka. He's seen as a worm, which is fitting. But, you know.
いや、いくら信じても振られた相手には近寄らないだろう。あいつ、そのあたりはちゃんとしてるぞ。
Really? I don't know about that. I don't know.
けど相手が近寄ってくるんだからしょうがないじゃない。遠坂さ、なんか知らないけど、うちの道場をよく見学に来るのよ。エミヤは辞めちゃったから知らないだろうけどね。
Yeah, Shinji just like, Tosaka just walks in and all of a sudden he's like, oh my god! I feel everything! I feel great! I feel good! I can't even replicate Shinji's voice because it's so deep comparatively to what I had thought it would be when I first saw his little face. It doesn't like feel like that's what comes out of that face, I suppose. For me, Shinji would sound like, hey, Tosaka, how are you doing? Not, hello there, Tosaka, how are you doing? You know, that deep fucking ass muncher garbage bin of a person. So, I guess I could do that for my Shinji voice. It works. It works. Eh? That's the first I've heard of it. Tosaka Rin doesn't do any club activities for personal reasons. I thought she went straight home since she even turned down the recommendation to join the student council. Oh my god, Issei's so happy. I can imagine Rin, one of the other student council people are just like, Issei, did you hear about Rin? What about Rin? She turned down the opportunity to join the student council. He's just like, oh, I see. And inside of him, he's just like, woo! Let's go! Hoo-hoo! Unbeknownst to him, his wages would be garnished not 2 minutes later.
ま、たまにはそれもいいか。あいつもお高く止まってるし、一度ぐらいは痛い目に遭うのもいいかもね。
He deserves a hard time.
お気の毒
He
様っ
really
ていう
does.
か、ご愁傷様っていうか。
I hope he gets one other bug can, you know what? Centipedes. Not even worms anymore. I hope he gets infused with centipedes, becomes Centipede Man. Mitsuzuri says some dangerous things. To think of it, I heard that Tosaka has many enemies. Could Mitsuzuri be one of them? That's going too far. No, that really goes to show how much of a good person Shiro is. Even a person as reprehensible as Shinji, he doesn't think deserves something awful happening to him.
あ、そろそろ時間だ。じゃあね、エミヤ。今度私の弓の調子見に来てよ。
Fair enough. Mitsuzuri hurries off. Yeah, but I like that part of her. Feeling calmer now, I head for the classroom. Ah yes, time for class. Are we gonna see Dead Inside guy, the teacher? The strict one? Ah, nah, it's lunchtime. The jazz music comes flying in. We're alone. Something tells me something's gonna happen in that locker right there. Our school is a splendid cafeteria, and most students eat there. But there are some old-fashioned students who bring their own lunches. 2 of them happen to be me and the student council president in front of me.
Emiya, その唐揚げを一つくれないか。俺の弁当には圧倒的に肉分が不足している。
I would also like to get some crepe, but I'm lacking in funds at the moment. Do you think you could spare me a few hundred yen? But I gave you a few hundred yen yesterday! But you see, without crepes, I cannot do my duty as student council president much longer. I need crepes to fuel me, to fuel my body.
いいけど、なんだってお前の弁当ってそう質素なんだ、一世。いくら寺だからって、酒も肉も取らないなんて教えがあるわけでもないだろう。
Shiro, I'm 16 years old. You expect me to drink alcohol so soon? What do you think I am?
何を時代錯誤なことを。これは単に親父殿の趣味だ。
Alright, Issei, you don't need to use such big words with me.
小坊主に食わす贅沢はない。 悔しいのなら己で何とかせよなどという。
Okay.
いっそ今からでも天祖になるか。俺も考えどころだ。
Man, he's one of those kind of guys. Wow, you say? You'll actually feel bad for the guy. I mean, that's rough.
あのじいさんなら確かに。
Issei's father is the priest of the Ryudo Temple, and a bold guy who's old friends with the old man at Fujine's place. You can't expect a normal personality when he's friends with a guy like that.
それはそれは。じゃあ、いつか恩
Hey,
返しを期
fried
待
chicken?
して
Hell yeah.
一つ。
A hand in my lunchbox.
いやいや、ありがたく。これも托発の修行なり。
Oh my fuck. I must bathe in chicken. I must eat the chicken. The chicken skin fuels my biblical technique. Issei bows deeply. How can I put this? I never know what to say when things like this remind me that he's the son of a priest.
ああ、そういえばエミヤ、朝方2丁目の方で騒ぎがあったのを知っているか。ちょうどエミヤと別れるあたりの交差点だが。
That's right, Shiro ignored it and decided to continue to class. I remember that. The intersection this morning. He must mean that clamor with all the police cars.
なんでもな、殺人があったそうだ。
Oh.
詳細は知らないが、一家4人中助かったのは子供だけらしい。
Oh.
両親と姉は刺殺されたというが、その凶器が包丁やナイフではなく、長物だというのが普通じゃない。
No. Did Lancer do it? Oh my god. Only the child's. What the fuck, man? Fate loves to kill parents. Jeez. This is a Japanese anime. Fucking hell. Long weapon. He must mean something like a sword. The murder. So that must mean the sister and parents were killed. I picture it. Someone barging in during the night. Unjust violence. A one-sided pillage like an accident. Slashed parents. The sister killed without even knowing what's going on. To the side, the child covered in their blood.
いっせ、それ、犯人は捕まったのか？
Oh my god, is Shiro gonna fucking become a detective? Fucking Detective Shiro? Oh hell yeah, boy!
捕まっては
Dude, he and Archer should team up the
信徒の
detectives.
方では欠陥工事による事故。こちらでは辻切りめいた殺人事件だ。学校の門限が早まるのも当然。どうしたエミヤ？喉に飯でも詰まったか？
Why is Shiro so concerned?
別に。何もないけど、なんだよ、いきなり。
You're scaring me, Emiya! How dare you choke on a piece of fried chicken? That's for devouring, not for choking. What do you think you are, a woman?
No,
that was a poor taste joke.
エミ
I'm
ヤが
sorry.
厳しい顔をしていたのでな。少し驚いた。すまん。食事時の話ではなかったな。
It must have ticked him off as he was thinking about it. He was thinking of the brutality of the situation. And in Shiro's own sense of justice, he deems that like practically evil and something that's, disgusting. Issei tries to soften the air apologetically. I was fine with the topic, but was I really making such a nasty face? And then there's a quiet knock at the door. Hey, it's this dude. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's here.
ああ、はい。何ですか、先生。
Issei addresses Kuzuki, who just entered. It must be a simple talk about the student council, as Issei seems pretty relaxed. That's not something you see every day. Despite his appearance, Issei is very shy. A guy who draws a line against his classmates and even his teachers is letting his guard down with Kuzuki. Aww. So Issei's a bit of a shy guy. What a... He's such a bro. I'm really drawn to Issei. I like him a lot. They're both... Why so serious? Kuzuki Soichiro, the teacher in charge of Class 2A, is serious and stubborn. Probably that aspect helps him get along with Issei, who prizes order and discipline. The two continue to talk. All the while, I can't get the story of the murder out of my head. I think it might be the idea of a kid losing everybody and being the last one left is what strikes Shiro, because the same thing happened to him. But this person might not have someone to, save them or adopt them, so it's kind of that relatability factor from Shiro's perspective that strikes him to the core. Classes end and it's time to go home. I cannot go anywhere as I have work today. I should leave school and go straight to the neighboring town, but... Oh, the dojo. Still worried about the Oh no, the archery club. My apologies. Still worried about the conversation I had this morning. I've made my way to the archery club before I knew it. Okay. According to Mitsuzuri, Tosaka Rin comes here often. Oh, I really don't care about that. But I know that Shinji getting angry at her is going to be a problem.
Shinjiのやつ、カッとなると止まらないからな。
Shiro may have a temper, but he can control it for the most part. Shinji cannot. It's bad if Shinji gets violent because she turned him down. I don't know why it's bad, it's just bad. It makes me feel bad just thinking about it, so I have to stop it from happening.
なんだ、遠坂いないじゃないか。
Saka isn't around. Suzuri's worries were needless.
へえ、誰がいないって？
No! Oh, it's Issei! Yes!
誰がいないって？
It's just, hello there, General Detective Shiro. I'm so happy. I thought it was Shinji, and I got so terrified. But it's the boy Issei. He's like, so? Who's not here? For I am here. It is me, Issei. Welcome back. And there's Issei, whom I just left behind.
お前か、Issei。あんまり驚かすなよな。
You should have seen the look on your face, Shiro. It was quite hilarious.
エミヤが挙動不審げに道場を眺めていたからつい。
I was mainly concerned you would try something, even if it isn't in your character. You can expect the weirdest from the worst.
で、誰がいないって？
誰って遠坂だよ。
Tosaka.
なんでも昨日、シンジと一悶着あったらしいんだ。
ほうほう。挙動不審だな。聞かれてもいないのに理由まで話すなど。俺は誰がいないかと聞いただけなのだが。
Wow, that is suspicious.
なんだよ、別にいいだろ。俺が何しようが俺の勝手だ。
Listen, it is my duty as student council president to look after you, Shiro, so you better let me take you under my wing.
それはしかり。だが無駄だぞ、エミヤ。遠坂はここにはいない。
Oh, that's right. That's right.
あいつは今日ずる
This is the
休み
day
だ。
that she skipped school.
何？
Skipped school? So she was absent today?
あ、そうか。欠席か。待て、伊勢。なんで遠
How
坂
could
がず
someone
る
like
休みなんだ。
Tosaka skip
あい
school?
つがそんなのするわけないだろ。
That's great. Even Shiro
す
can't
ると
believe
も
it.
あいつが風邪などひくものか。
She's
俺が見
evil!
たところあいつは悪いやつだ。外見に騙されるとパクッと食われるぞ、エミヤ。
I can imagine the striking conflict between Issei and Shiro. Shiro, all women are queens. Issei, if she breathes, she's a thought. Oh my god, she's evil. Shiro, she's evil. Get away from her. She'll infect you too. Trust me, you can trust me, Shiro. I am a priest's son after all. I don't want to perform an exorcism. I do not want to perform an exorcism on my best friend. Somehow Issei just annoyed me. It's true that I don't know her, but I can't imagine that she's a bad person.
言い過ぎだぞ、伊勢。遠坂はそんなやつじゃないだろう。
なんだ、エミヤも遠坂狙いなのか。ああ、それはすまない。今のは流してくれ。
Damn it. How could someone like Shiro be into Tosaka? Oh no, this is a dilemma. After Tosaka, who said anything like that?
勝手に決めつけるな。俺はただ、シンジが揉め事を起こしたら大変だから。
シンジが遠坂に殴りかかろうとしたら止めるためか。またそんな役回りをするな。別に俺は気にしないが、割と趣味が悪いのだな、エミヤは。
Bad taste,
してな
Emiya.
いから損じゃない。けど、伊勢、お前、今変なこと言わなかった。
What do you mean by that?
遠坂狙いは趣味が悪いってことか。
Yeah, it isn't bad taste. To Issei it is.
そう。遠坂は人気あるじゃないか。俺も、あいつの悪い噂は聞かないぞ。
Shirou, you could just tell things about a woman from looking at her, and I can declare that she is evil. Trust me, you do not want to step anywhere near her. And if you do, so help me, I won't know what to do with myself anymore.
ああ、聞かないね。それがまた気に食わない。
Are you mad because she's like too perfect?
気に食わないってどの辺？
だから全部だよ。あれは女狐だ。女性だ。妖怪だ。とにかく生理的に気に食わない。悪いことは言わないから、エミヤも気に入らないようにしろ。
Shirou, after all, it is bro before hose, and I want you to hate her too because she is not the normal woman. She is but a fox, the nine-tails fox. She does not deserve your love.
いいっせ。人の陰口は良くないってお前の口癖じゃなかったか？
たわけ。これが陰口に入るか？俺は聞こえるように喋っている。
I'm speaking so loudly, Shirou, that anyone can hear me. I shall scream it atop the rooftops. Tosaka Rin is evil! No wonder I feel someone dies from the archery dojo. Thank God. I'm so glad Tosaka is absent today.
頼む伊勢。悪いが早速陰口にしてくれ。
Damn.
エミヤがそういうのなら了解した。いや、とりわけ中傷していたわけではないぞ。単に竜道一世が遠坂凛を警戒していると言っただけだ。
Don't you see, Shirou? She's a succubus. I will not let myself get as close to her or attached to her. I will guard my virginity with pride.
その割には妖怪だとか女狐だとか言ってたけど。
And I think the term schoolgirl is discrimination. What? She is a schoolgirl.
何？褒め言葉だ。女狐にも妖怪にもいい
He
ものがい
has a
る。
point. He has a point.
あくまで遠坂を表現する値として採用しただけである。
Oh my god. Fucking Issei covering his own tracks. Oh my god, I love him.
Cuts.
Cuts. An explosion, Datara. Cuts! Oh no. Issei laughs. I did a funny.
それではな。俺は生徒会室に戻るが、エミヤはバイトだろう。こんなところで道草を食っている暇はなかろう。
You must feel refreshed now that he said everything he wanted as he leaves calmly. I've known him for 2 years now, but I still don't understand his personality. God, do I like Issei a lot. Him and Shirou are just fun together. I really did enjoy that. Ah yes, work! 20 minutes after taking the bus from my school, I arrive at the neighboring town of Shinto across the bridge.
なんだ。まだ5時前か。少し時間があるな。
Oh nice, you're not late? Wonderful. Miyama City is a residential district, so there's no part-time jobs there. But the developing Shinto has many available. The school approves of students having part-time jobs, so I work a few easy ones. I prefer hard physical labor that ends as quickly as possible. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, as it builds my body while I get paid for it. Right, that's actually a smart way of thinking, Shirou. It really is helpful. It is really good for... Well, you could bite off more than you could chew by taking on physical labor, because if your body isn't used to it, you can end up really destroying your muscles and just screwing your body over. But if you're healthy enough and you want to get even fitter than you can and you want to make money in the process, I think that's a really smart thing to do, actually. We're going to work. Today's job is a simple loading job from 5 to 8 o'clock. 3 hours. So what is he making, like 3,000 yen from that? Even though it's only 3 hours, there's 6 hours worth of work to do. They make you run around without a minute's rest. Okay. Yeah, you just gotta go. So that 3 hours would be hellish. So I should rest when I can, even if it's just for 10 minutes. So, can we just admire how much Shirou does in his day? He wakes up at like 5:30, prepares breakfast, goes to school, you know, spends his day at school for the entire day. Then he works a physical labor job that's so demanding that 3 hours work is basically the equivalent of 6 hours. Gets home, eats and occupies, tries to help as many people as he can. He's always helping people. He's there for Sakura and Fujimura Sensei, and then when they leave, he goes into the shed and trains for another couple of hours, bringing his body to the absolute physical limit, and then sleeping for like what, 5 hours? My goodness, this man's schedule's tighter than Tosaka's attitude. It's a waste of energy walking around until my job, so I guess I'll rest in the park. Oh, the park. I love this musical track. This park among the buildings is like a big field. The park should be filled with people, like families and lovers on weekends, but it's empty here now. No. This place is always desolate. I'm a bit sad. The utterly neglected ground looks awful compared to the neatly organized surroundings. The desolate area makes the wind feel cold. This is the remains of the conflagration 10 years ago. And this is the place where I was saved from burning to death. It is quite a waste, isn't it? It's a large area, so if they retiled it, the park would get bigger. Thinking absent-mindedly, I sit down on a bench. So did Shirou, like, miss Archer and Rin, like, by, like, a little bit? I stare at the burned land to pass the time. I don't remember what happened here back then. I probably don't remember it because I was a kid and it wouldn't have been an easy scene to memorize. All I can remember is that it was hot and I couldn't breathe. And that people died trying to save others. For example, an adult that tried to save a child from a burning house. He saved the child, but died in its place. For example, there were people who had their throats burned, but they gave what little water they had to one guy and the others died. I feel like this is really setting up Shirou's sense of justice for saving other people, but also it shows just how hard it can be to save others because you end up creating more casualties, like in a good way. It kind of mirrors Kiritsugu's whole idea of wanting to save people by using the majority over the minority. For example, there was someone who ran alone to get away from the fire as fast as possible, and everyone that he passed on the way died. And for example, people who died because they gave away something that was saving them, only to save others they didn't even know. This is brutal, man. I didn't like things like that. It makes me mad that those who tried hard were sacrificed. Am I greedy to want an ending where everybody is safe and happy? How you really are like Kiritsugu in some ways, aren't you? All I wanted was to see people relax peacefully. So why couldn't I manage such a simple thing? Oh my... Sorry if I'm destroying your eardrums. I gotta clap, Kiritsugu, motherfucking Kiritsugu! Ah! Kiritsugu is such a good kid. Oh! Good! Oh! It's moments like these that make me happy I've seen Zero because they'd affect me on such a personal level. Oh, Kiritsugu! You speak from such experience and Shirou doesn't even get to know that! Shirou doesn't even get to understand what you've went through! Oh my god! This is fucking brilliant! Kiritsugu answered so to the question I asked as a child. Of course, as a child I denied it. Because Kiritsugu saved me, I knew he was a sorcerer who could do anything. I knew he was a superhero who couldn't ignore people in need, who saved them for no benefit. So I believed Kiritsugu could have saved everyone back then. I see. Unfortunately, that's just not how the world works, Shirou. That's where growing up is a taken. When I told him that, he made a troubled expression and said something that I remember to this day. Shirou. 誰かを救うということは誰かを助けないということなんだ。Yeah. いいかい？正義の味方に助けられるのはね、正義の味方が助けた者だけなんだよ。Saving one person. 当たり前のことだけど、これが正義の味方の定義なんだ。Saving one person means not saving another. Oh God, you are right, Kiritsugu. Like, I can feel my stomach just tight in knots at just a line like this. It really sticks to the core. It hurts. As I remember everything he's been through and everything he's done and everything he's fought for, only to realize he had to be. And Kiritsugu giving up on being a hero, but still being happy that he was able to save someone like Shirou is so fucking bittersweet to me. And him dying, inspiring Shirou in such a way is such... I wanted to be a hero. Kitty, what did you want to be? I wanted to be a hero. Oh, I have chills over my body. I'm not even exaggerating. My body is filled with chills from the inner being. Oh man, I just lines like this, the character, like, you know something is so fucking well written when just something like this, a black screen with 2 fucking lines, can make me feel so much within myself. I understand that. It's obvious now that he said it. Let's say there's a robber and some hostages, and the robber intends to kill the hostages. With normal methods, most of the hostages will be killed. Even if you use a miraculous method to save all the hostages, there will still be one person who isn't saved. That, of course, is the robber whose hostages were rescued. The people a superhero saves are only those he decides to save. That's why even God cannot save everyone.
それが天才ならなおさらだ。誰であろうと、全てを助けるなんてできなかった。
That's the reality of what a natural disaster is. The fire 10 years ago was like that. Only Shirou doesn't understand that it wasn't a natural disaster. It was Kiritsugu's fault. Basically. It's not something I, who was miraculously saved from it, can talk about now.
けど嫌だ。
I don't want such a thing. I don't want help that has a limited capacity. You have to help no matter how impossible it is. I can't stand to have strangers dying around me like back then. So if I had been there 10 years ago, even if it was impossible, I would have gone into the fire and...
そのまま無駄死にしてたろうな。間違いなく。
Wow, even Shirou... That just shows the level of maturity Shirou has. Is even in his own sense of justice, even in his own desires to help, he understands that it isn't so simple as, I go in there and save people, I'm a hero. He would have died in vain. He would have. Just like the stories he recited earlier about those who were able to save, only for them the people to be saved died after. And it's like this inevitable cycle of fucking tragedy. You help others, but people are still going to die. People will die. There's no changing that. You can't save everybody. The hero only chooses who to save, you know? That's for certain. Jeez, I'm hopeless.
しまった。ぼんやりしてたら5時になっちまった。
This is my favorite scene so far. In this episode, anyway. This is fucking brilliant. I feel everything that Shirou is talking about. I love his characterization. I love who he is. I fucking love Shirou. The 5 o'clock bell rings. I stand up and quickly make my way to my work. When my job's done, the sun is already set. It's a bit before 8. I finished 10 minutes early because I worked too hard. It seems I worked frantically since I went to that place before work. Here in front of the station, the night's just getting started. There are lots of people, and a constant flow of cars on the road. The buildings are still lit up, and just looking at them makes me feel like I'm watching a grand festival of illumination.
藤姉にお土産はいいか。
What do you mean by that, Shirou? Oh, I walk while looking up at the lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see the top clearly. Oh! Oh! Wait a sec, are you it was Shirou who saw Rin up there? What? It was Shirou? I just gazed up at the building, just enjoying the night scenery. Huh? When I think I see something out of place.
なんだ今の。
Oh my god, I love it! I didn't expect that! I didn't expect that to be the actual, like, truth of this. That's awesome! That's freaking crazy! I stop and stare at the rooftop. I focus my eyes, looking at the things as small as a grain of rice. There she is, Tosaka Rin. Look at her fucking face looking down on him. Jeez. It's like someone I know. Why is she there? What would she be doing there? With her long hair fluttering and doing nothing, she looks down at the town. Doesn't seem like she notices me down. Oh, but she does, Shirou. No, there's no way she could see me. She's so high up that I, with better eyesight than most, can barely see her by improving my vision with magical energy. But you see, that's interesting. Shirou doesn't know that Tosaka can use magic, or is even a magi for that, so he doesn't expect her to be able to see him. I can recognize her since she's standing there alone, but there's no way she would notice me down here among all these people. She's just looking down at the town. Maybe she's looking for something, as I can feel her sharp stare down, even down here. Forget about time and keep looking up at the girl standing in the sky. She is on the top of a tall tower. She's like a witch, looking down at the earth with the moon behind her. And then, she must be done with whatever she was doing, as she disappears. Her figure has disappeared and the scene returns to the beautiful view of the night.
今の遠坂だったのかな。
Yeah, you could say that as the... Yep. I have no proof, but I think I'm right. So is this why he's at the school during the third day, as he wants to, like, see what's going on with Rin? And see if she's okay? There aren't many girls with looks that stand out that much. And more than that, I'm not stupid enough to mistake a girl I secretly admire.
そうか。にしても、
There's the question of why. Why is she there? Well, it's... Osaka sure has strange hobbies. Just that... I love that. It's just thought, wow, Tosaka sure has weird hobbies. Yes. Unlike Shinto, there's no one in Miyama City. After 8 o'clock, there are no people around. The town is terribly quiet. At the junction is the house I saw this morning. There's no sign of people. The door has a do not enter sign. After only one day, the house is as quiet as an abandoned building. Parents and older sister killed by the burglar. What kind of life remains for the child left behind? Bite my lip, feeling powerless. Even after swearing to become like Kiritsugu, I can't do anything about something that happened so close by. Even though I want to help someone, in the end, I don't even know what I can do. Climbed the hill and reached the Emiya house. The lights are still on, so Sakura Fujine must still be there. Probably just Fujine because Sakura was dealing with Gilgamesh,
ただいま。
right?
あれ、
Yep.
藤音だけか。
おかえりしろ。
Yay, some little happiness to make ourselves feel better. Good old Fujine. Fujine turns around, munching on a rice cracker. The TV show is a loud variety show.
もうまたこんな時間に帰ってきて冬は日が暮れるのが早いんだからもっと早くに帰ってきなさいって言ったでしょ
Shows how much Fujine cares for him.
だから早く帰ってきてるだろ。8時までのバイトを選
Don't
んで
be
るんだ
so
から。
unreasonable.
これ以上無茶言わないでくれ。で、さくらはどうしたんだよ。なんか晩飯の支度だけはできてるみたいだけど。
さくらちゃんなら早めに帰ったわよ。今日は用事があるからって晩ご飯だけ作ってくれたの。
Yeah, she said she had something to do today. But from what Sakura said to Rin, Gilgamesh just encountered her like a stranger asking for directions. Either that's a lie, or it was coincidental that Gilgamesh ran into her, because maybe Sakura has something to do at home with Zoken, or maybe Shinji is forcing her into something that she doesn't want to do. And that terrifies me, because Sakura is the kind of character that I feel like her world lightens up around Shirou. Shirou's her rock. But when Shiro isn't around, no one can see her. She's alone. Like, of course there's Fujine, who is like an older sister to her. more so than even Rin, which is quite sad if you think about it. Sakura, I can relate so harshly to, you know, having that one or two people that you can notice, that notice you, that brighten up the day around you, but then when you're away from them, when you're alone, you're a ghost, not seen by anybody, walking aimlessly, returning home to a place you don't want to be. And especially in Sakura's case, it's far worse than any of us could imagine. You know, with what she's been through after all. Fujine says so happily. As far as she's concerned, anyone who cooks for her is a good person.
そっか。確かにしばらくはその方がいいかもしれないな。最近は物騒だし、いっそ新学期まで晩飯は俺が作ろうか。
After the recent murder, Shiro does not want anything to happen to people like Sakura.
反対。シロ帰ってくるの遅いじゃない。それからご飯作ってたら食べるの10時過ぎになっちゃうよ。
That is really late to eat. I can actually see why Fujine would be salty.
あのね、
her little puffy
そこに
face.
自分家で食べるとい
Yeah,
う選
come on,
択肢は
dude,
な
eat
い
at
のか。
home.
だからここが私の家
I
だ
am.
よ。
Aw, that's actually adorable. Fujine seems puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if that makes me happy or sad.
わかったよ。藤姉に飯を作れなんて無理難題を言ってもしょうがない。それはいいけど、足元のそれなんだよ。
Oh, what? Fujine has a terrible habit of leaving junk at my place. Large bowls from restaurants, a heavy teapot she got in the shopping district, a strange guitar that plays by itself. I think she thinks this place is some kind of a warehouse. Yeah, take it to the shed, Fujine.
ちょっと見せてみろ。ゴミだったら捨てるから。
All of a sudden, the claws just come out of Fujine. Don't you dare touch it!
これうちで余ったポスターだけど。
Oh shit, a poster? What kind of poster? Fujine hands me the poster. It's probably some infamous idol or something.
どれどれ
Here we have a military-style guy with his thumbs up on a cheap-looking blue sky background. In letters like blood, it reads, Love's lovely Rangerland. Please join the self-defense force. Hold on, this is an army recruiting poster!
それいらないからあげるね。
Well, thank you very much, Fujine. I'm gonna go join the army. I don't want this either! What the... I roll up the poster and hit Fujine with it. Bad Fuji! Bad Taiga!
へへ外れ。
Oh, you would have instincts like a tiger. But... Fujine deflects my attack with the poster she had hidden and counterattacks mercilessly. Bam! The poster lightly knocks my... Uh-oh. Stars! I saw stars!
シロの腕で私に当てようなんて甘いわよ。
Man, Fujine, the final boss of the
もうちょっ
game.
と腕を磨きなさい
The
ね。
ultimate fighter. I can imagine Fujine taking down Kirei in a fucking tiger costume.
そんな問題じゃないだろう今の。なぜに紙のポスターがかような破壊音を。
What'd you do? Stuff a shoe inside of it? Could this be the skill of a master?
ごめんごめん。こっちのポスター
Oh!
初回特典版なんで豪華鉄板仕様だっ
Fujine, how could you?
た。シロ頭
If I were sure, I'd be like, get out of my house!
藤姉、いつか絶対に人を殺す。
Kirei just fucking sweats in the distance. Oh no.
へへその時はシロがお嫁にもらってくれるから安心かな。
I'm your student, ma'am. I'm your student. I need an adult. I am an adult. Uh-oh!
全速でお断りです。そんな天然殺人鬼を相方にもらう気はないやい。
You misunderstand, Shiro. Boy, it is I who choose my mate. I am a tiger after all. Oh no!
私そんな物騒なのじゃないと思う。
Honestly, while Sakura is probably like the one I'd want to marry the most, I'd marry a girl like Fujine. I think Fujine is really sweet.
やっぱり、得てしてそういう連中は自覚がないっていうのは本当だったのか。
How true, how true. I'll have to watch out or I'll be killed.
ふんだ、言ってなさい。そんなことよりシロ、私お腹減った。 今まで待ってたんだから早くご飯の用意しよう。
I'm gonna put some fucking spice in your fucking soup. Let's see how you like that, Fuji. Fujine stands up. How strange. Fujine is helping out even if she's only setting up the dishes. She must be really hungry.
はいはい。じゃあ藤姉は皿と茶碗な。ご飯ぐらい告げるだろ。
She just spills the rice everywhere. Fuji! Who else but Fuji?
告げるよ。ねえシロ、私丼でいいかな。
いいんじ
Yes.
ゃないか。今日はさくらもいないし、どうせ飯は余るし。
よしよし。それじゃ、シロもお揃いね。
Yay! Fujine pours rice into 2 bowls. Oh well, I was going to have seconds anyways. Besides, if I argue with Fujine, she'll take my dinner away! And to add, chaotic dinners like this have been common scenes for many years now. Mystery Food X was a certain incident that we must never talk about. The day ends. Finishing a ratty dinner and seeing Fujine off, I take a bath. After that, I practice my daily routine in the shed. I complete it as usual and go to sleep. It is 1 in the morning, so you really only get like fucking 4.5 hours of sleep. Wow. The day ends peacefully without any troubles. Alright, we're on the 3rd day. The day that Shiro gets Saber. Long day, long night. This is probably gonna take forever. Heck. I think that's actually a good stopping point. Unless never mind, I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. Just a little bit, because I see this and it intrigues me too much. It seems like Shiro dreams a lot, like repetitious dreams. But maybe his dreams are like telling the future. Maybe it's like a premonition sort of deal. Because I mean, this is gonna happen again, right? Kirei's gonna summon the Grail again for Angra Mainyu, and it's gonna go to hell. So maybe it's a possibility that Shiro is just seeing this as one of the possibilities for the future. Maybe it's fate after all. I'm in a fire. Collapsing buildings and burning people. No matter how far I run, the scenery is always red. This is a vision of 10 years ago. Or maybe it's a vision of 10 years later. A memory of the distant past I haven't remembered in a while. I run through it as if recreating the scene. There's no escape even though I know it's a dream. I run, keep running. In the end, where I end up is how I'm saved after running out of energy. I wake up with a bad feeling. Feeling like a metal weight is inside my chest. Feel my forehead and find that I'm sweating a lot even though it's winter. Did you oversleep? It's already past 6 o'clock, yeah. From the kitchen I can hear the sound of the kitchen knife cutting something. Oh, is it Sakura? Oh, so sweet. There's no time to be impressed. I have to get ready quickly and go help fix breakfast. What a good fucking dude Shiro is. God, I love him.
シロ、今日どうするのよ。土曜日だから午後はアルバイト？
No, he's going to be staying late at the school and getting stabbed. It's gonna be a wonderful day. Also, one thing that really I have a lot of respect for Japanese people for, especially Japanese students, is that they only get 1 day off a week, and they have shorter summers than we do, which is the biggest. Oh, that sounds like hell! If you didn't know, the reason I know this is because I've played Persona games. The Japanese have school from Monday through Saturday, so you only get Sunday off. As an American, I'm so used to fucking Saturday and Sunday. It's, you know, ritual for me. To think of having 1 day is the equivalent of gouging my eye out to me. I just couldn't handle that. And I know it's probably weak and silly, but when you've grown accustomed to it, to change to 1 day off would be fucking insane to me.
いや、バイトは入ってないよ。一世のところで何かやってると思うけど、それがどうかしたか？
別に。暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなーって。 私今月ピンチなのだ。
Oh, okay.
ピンチって何がさ。
Yeah, what's going on?
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当作ってくれ
You
ると嬉しいん
love
だけど
food,
な。
Fujimura.
断る。自業自得だ。たまには一食ぐらい抜いた方がいい。
Oh, don't say that to her.
で、シローには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだから。
Oh my goodness.
はい、私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先
He's
生。
so fucking sweet. I love her.
オッケーオッケー。
Okay,
じゃあ今日は
okay.
一緒にお昼を食べましょう。
Okay, there's something about translations that I find funny. Why did they translate it to fine, fine when you can clearly hear Fujimura say okay, okay? Like, it works either way. Like the line change isn't like horrible or bad or, you know, but it's just funny to me. Breakfast continues as usual. Today, along with the usual, there's simmered lotus root with chicken. That chicken sounds delicious. I don't think she has to make anything this elaborate for breakfast, but I think she made a lot of it to take for lunch too. Sakura is a member of the archery club, and Fujine is in charge of the archery club. It's natural for them to share lunches.
そういえばシロー、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
He just overslept is all. Fujine looks at me, sipping her miso soup. Jeez, she's usually slow, but she gets sharp only at times like this.
昔の夢を見た。寝覚めがすっげえ悪かっただけで、あとはなんともない。
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
Nothing unusual. Fujine ends the conversation like she's not interested. I'm not worried at all about it either, so I shouldn't get mad about it. 10 years ago. I used to have nightmares back when I couldn't get the fire out of my mind. But I saw less of it as time passed, and I'm well over it now that I can let it slide even after dreaming about it. Good growth there. Good growth. But I guess it was pretty bad back then. Since Fujine has been here since that time, she's sensitive to my change. That's fair.
シロー、食欲はある？今朝に限ってないとかない？
Like, I really love Fujimura sensei. She's really kind and sweet, even if she's acts aloof a lot of the time. I really love the dynamic that Shiro has with these two.
ない。なんともないんだから、人の夢にかこつけて飯を横取りするな。
Shiro, your temper. He's fucking angry.
シローが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
Like, Sakura over there, she's delicate. Don't you see her?
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。もうちょっと可愛になってくれた方がいいぞ。弟分としては。
Well, I gave all of my sweetness to Sakura over here. Can't you see, Shiro? We make fun of each other without looking at each other. That proves my liveliness, and Fujine laughs with relief. To be honest, I'm glad she's worrying. She'll be elated if I thank her, so I act like I'm discontented. Huh? Not knowing the circumstances, Sakura looks puzzled at the way we're acting. She's like, what kind of... I don't think she understands how, like, family dynamics are, even if they aren't related. She doesn't really understand this kind of relationship, so it comes as a surprise to her. And because she has such admiration and love for Fujine, that's a part of it too. After Fujine leaves, we lock the house and leave.
先輩、
Yes!
今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけど、よろしいですか？
No, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. I wonder what's going on. I hope we learn about it. I wonder if, like, Zoken wants her to, like, try to summon a servant or something.
別にいいよ。だって土日だろ？さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから、気にすることないぞ。
Shiro, you say that like she has friends. I don't think she does.
そんな、違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事で、ちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから、何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。
adorable.
別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
I see. This is also part of some insecurities for her. She doesn't want Shiro to see her in a certain light. She wants Shiro to see her for how she presents herself. She doesn't want to give off a misconstrued impression. But Shiro is the kind of guy to to not judge so harshly, even with people like Shinji. But it really makes you feel for Sakura as what she's been through, how the insecurities build up within her. It's all really organic, and it makes sense to for a character for acting this way. But for Shirou, again, it's like, what the fuck? Sakura's acting suspicious, and she looks very tense. I don't know why, but I guess she means that she can't come over this weekend.
わかった。なんかあったら道場に行くよ。
Nice, Shirou just really fast. Shirou, you're a wonderful person.
そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Oh, that's adorable. Sakura looks relieved. And when she looks down here, down, her face suddenly stiffens.
先輩。
What? What's wrong with it? Sakura is staring at my left hand. Looking down at it, it's bleeding. What? Really?
あれ
Huh? I pull up my sleeve. There is certainly blood there.
なんだこれ。昨日の夜ガラクタいじってて切ったかな。
Well, this is strange. How did... Huh? But it doesn't hurt at all. There's just a welt on there. The welt goes straight from my shoulder down to the hand, and it looks kind of like a small snake running from the shoulder to my hand. Does this have something to do with your magic training?
ま、痛みもないし、すぐに引くだろう。大丈夫。気にするほどじゃない。
はい。先輩がそう言うのでしたら。
She's so worried
気に
about
し
it.
ません。
Oh. Perhaps she's feeling bad from seeing the blood as Sakura looks away and falls silent. Alright, I think... well... Alright, I know this is a little bit shorter than I usually do, but I have a feeling next episode is going to be incredibly long, as I'm going to attempt to get through the entire rest of the third day, up to where Shirou beats Saber. So for now, I want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. We got a lot of, we get a lot more Shirou development and how he thinks, the way he reacts to certain situations, how when Issei brings up the point of people having been murdered, Issei kind of brushes it off as, you know, it happens, you know, the curfew has been blatant and, you know, bad things are bound to happen, but Shirou, it strikes at him, even if he doesn't think it does, it shows on his face, as his face had like this disgusted look on it. There's also the fact that Shirou has this amazing sense of duty, like what Kiritsugu had himself, with wanting to save others, and the scene in the park was so brilliantly executed with him talking about how people try to save others, but again, people will always die, you can't save everyone. And even Shiro was able to admit that if he were like Kiritsugu that day, running into the fire to save as many people as possible, he would die in vain as well. And there's just great moments where Kiritsugu's lines reflect on his past, but really give Shiro extra things to reflect on for his own character and for his own ideologies to evolve from. There is the amazing fact of heroes choose who they save. There's always going to be someone that you don't save, whether it be the bad person, like a burglar, for example. And I just love that dynamic. I love the way Shiro reacts to things, how selfless he can be, but how much he truly thinks about things. And I can relate to that a lot. I also loved how Shiro wants to protect Tosaka from Shinji, how he feels like it's his duty because he knows how Shinji reacts to certain things. I enjoy that we got the revelation that it was Shiro who was the one that Rin saw down below from the top of the tallest building. I thoroughly loved the smaller scenes with Issei and Shiro showing their relationship, showing how much Issei just doesn't like Rin, and how Shiro, despite that, still respects her and has admiration towards her. Shiro is one of the most kind-hearted people, even if his temper can get rather, Even if he has a temper and can be grouchy, like we see with Fujine, he's still an amazing person. I thoroughly loved the Fujine and Shiro scenes, as it's just really warm. It feels like home almost when you get to see those two interact, and I love seeing the side of Fujine that unravels with how much she actually cares for Shiro, and how much, even though she acts aloof, she does understand him. And it just, so far, the pacing has flowed well together. The dialogue has been well written. The inner monologues with Shiro is just nice. The backstory with Kiritsugu and the way that Shiro thinks is utterly fantastic. And of course, seeing Sakura display it helps to foreshadow her insecurities and the mystery behind her, even if you don't know it yet, because as a first-time player, you're gonna think Sakura is just some girl with a crush. But it's a lot more than that if you try to read into what she says, what she goes through. And I wonder if the reason she's going to be gone this weekend is because she's going to become a master or something. Also, I loved how Sakura reacted to Shiro having blood all over his hand so nonchalant. It was so nonchalantly for Shiro himself, but for Sakura it was a big deal because Sakura truly cares for him. And being able to see Sakura's insecurities when Shiro was like, "Oh, so you're just gonna go hang out with people, your friends? Okay." It was just a really well executed scene. And again, I love the humorous dynamic of breakfast and how it ties them together. Something so simple as, cooking breakfast. How it can tie these characters into strengthening their bonds with each other is absolutely brilliant, and I love it a lot. It's fucking amazing. I'm just loving this game, and I can't believe we're on the third day. We're just about caught up. We're gonna head into like the super fresh content with it's gonna be exciting. I'm looking so forward to what can happen next after we catch up, to having the Grail War pretty much kick off with Saber being, the final servant to be summoned after all. And the only thing that I can say about Shiro's weird bleeding is if it has something to do with his training regimen and his augmentation ability, and maybe the metal rod that he puts in his back, or maybe it's something different, like it's more like a supernatural thing, like with his dreams. Maybe this is some Freddy Krueger shit in his dreams brought him, just made him bleed. That'd be interesting. I don't know. That's just a pipe theory, a crackpot, but I don't know. I think there's more to meets the eye when it comes to Shiro bleeding there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that it means something. So I'm gonna keep it in my mind. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you stayed all the way to the end, I just want to tell you, thank you. I really do appreciate it, and it means the world to me. Seriously, thank you so very much. And I want you all to know that if it's morning, day, evening, or night, wherever it is that you are, please be sure to stay safe out there. And take care. And it would also mean a lot to me if you could leave a like on this video, subscribe, and comment down what you thought. I'd love to hear it. I really do thank you for your support. Thank you, as always, and I hope, I'm just blabbering now, I apologize. I hope you look forward to the next Fate episode. I am a lot, and I can't wait for it. Thank you.